Welcome to the Lawe Popo channel. In this video, we will discuss the impact of Trump's Venezuela intervention on global industry and trust in the United States. Before we continue, please subscribe first. U.S. foreign policy under Donald Trump drew global attention for its aggressive stance toward Venezuela. Venezuela became a major focus due to its political crisis and vast natural resources. The Trump administration imposed economic and diplomatic pressure on the Venezuelan government. These actions were presented as efforts to restore democracy and stability. However, many observers questioned the true motivations behind the intervention. Venezuela holds the world's largest proven oil reserves, making it strategically important. Energy interests have long influenced international relations and foreign policy decisions. U.S. energy companies were affected by Venezuela's nationalized oil industry. Venezuela's partnerships with Russia and China added geopolitical tension. Sanctions restricted Venezuela's ability to export oil to global markets. As a result, Venezuela's oil production declined sharply. Global energy supply chains experienced disruption and uncertainty. Oil prices became more volatile due to reduced supply. Countries dependent on Venezuelan oil had to seek alternative suppliers. Energy companies worldwide adjusted investment and production strategies. The intervention highlighted how political decisions affect global industries. International reactions to U.S. actions were mixed and often critical. Some allies questioned the unilateral approach taken by the United States. Critics argued that democracy and human rights were applied selectively. Trust in the U.S. as a neutral global leader began to decline. Some nations explored alternative alliances and regional cooperation. Trump's America First policy reshaped global perceptions of U.S. leadership. Economic interests appeared to outweigh humanitarian concerns in Venezuela. Developing countries became more skeptical of U.S. intervention motives. Long-term uncertainty can discourage global investment and cooperation. Reduced trust may weaken U.S. diplomatic influence worldwide. Global industries learned the importance of political stability and consistency. The Venezuela case shows how foreign policy choices can reshape global trust and industry. The crisis in Venezuela also deepened humanitarian challenges for its population. Economic sanctions reduced government revenue and public services. Inflation and shortages affected daily life for millions of citizens. International organizations debated the effectiveness of sanctions. Some experts argued sanctions hurt civilians more than political elites. Others claimed pressure was necessary to force political change. Global industries closely monitored political developments in Venezuela. Energy investors became cautious about long-term projects. Manufacturing sectors felt indirect effects from energy price instability. Shipping and logistics routes were adjusted to manage supply risks. The crisis emphasized the fragility of global supply chains. Trust between international partners became more difficult to maintain. Multilateral cooperation weakened during periods of unilateral action. The United States faced criticism for bypassing international consensus. Media coverage shaped public opinion across different regions. Social media amplified debates about U.S. motives and credibility. Public trust in global leadership depends on transparency and consistency. The Venezuela intervention became a case study in modern geopolitics. Scholars linked foreign policy decisions to domestic political pressures. Industrial lobbying continued to influence policy discussions. Energy security remained a top priority for major economies. Alternative energy sources gained attention amid supply uncertainty. Some countries accelerated energy diversification strategies. Venezuela's situation highlighted risks of over-reliance on single suppliers. Global markets reacted quickly to political announcements. Diplomatic credibility plays a key role in economic stability. Long-term trust is built through cooperation rather than coercion. The United States faced challenges restoring confidence after the Trump era. Allies expected a return to predictable and multilateral policies. Global institutions sought to reinforce rules-based cooperation. Industries evaluated lessons learned from political risk exposure. Political stability became a critical factor in investment decisions. The Venezuela case influenced future foreign policy debates. Governments reconsidered the balance between values and interests. Developing nations advocated for non-intervention principles. Economic pressure tools were reassessed for humanitarian impact. Trust once lost requires time and consistency to rebuild. Transparency and dialogue emerged as key diplomatic demands. Global industries favored predictable international relations. Energy markets adjusted to a more uncertain geopolitical environment. Companies invested more in risk management and diversification. Political credibility became an economic asset. The Venezuela intervention reshaped perceptions of U.S. power. Global trust shifted toward a more multipolar world. Cooperation among emerging powers increased. The role of energy politics remained central to global affairs. Future policies may emphasize diplomacy over confrontation. The Venezuela case continues to be analyzed by scholars and policymakers. Lessons from this intervention shape future global decision-making. Ultimately, global trust and industry stability depend on responsible leadership.